Terry Lewis, and I am at Project Angel Awards 2009 with my friend Brandon Roberts, who has been doing the heading up the volunteers. This year's theme is all about volunteers. It's the 20th anniversary, and everything in HIV/AIDS is on volunteering roots because that's where we live today. So, Brandon, tell me a little bit about your volunteers.
It's been for 3 years. The Angel Awards is Angel Awards is the biggest award show. They have a couple different awards. We have an award show for just volunteers. But this is to commemorate the 20 years of the organization's existence. They decided this year it should be all about volunteers. So everything is volunteer run. The silent auction, the live auction, the setup, a lot of the donations come from volunteers. To be able to feed 1,200 people or more a day, they need hundreds and hundreds of volunteers on a weekly basis. So I've been involved with the organization for 3 years, and it's a lot of fun. That's the thing about this organization. Why I keep coming back is they're great volunteers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean they treat them really well. They feed them, which is nice, but the events themselves are really fun, really well organized. The staff is very nice, treats them with a lot of respect, which you don't always get, in a big organization. So yeah.
Now I know you've actually done some food deliveries yourself.
I have.
Want to talk about that?
Yeah, I had the Monday noon route for several months, and I highly recommend that everybody do that. Anybody associated with the organization, even if you can't do it all the time as
or
a regular
any of these kind of organizations that take place all over the country.
Yeah.
That there are food organizations that started with HIV/AIDS, but has now even expanded to other life-threatening illnesses for people who shut in.
Yeah, and the focus of this organization has been HIV/AIDS for the last 15, 19 years, and this year they've expanded it to all life-threatening illnesses. But personally, I got involved because of the HIV aspect, because of my friends who have HIV. But it's still, delivering meals to people that have cancer, delivering people who are housebound with HIV. It's a very profound experience, and it reminds you of how lucky you are, and how much we owe this to the people in our community. I mean, to me, if you have it to give, you're obligated to give it, and this organization makes that possible.
Yeah. You're going to introduce me to some of your volunteers at some point before it gets too crazy.
Yeah,
We're here nice and early, so we won't get too wild yet.
Yeah.
But
a lot of great volunteers.
Incredible auction items, and if I had $500 to put for the OPI nail polish basket, I would. It's a lot of money for polish, but it's going to a worthy cause. So we'll touch with some other volunteers.
Great. All right.
Great. I'm here with Jillian Cook. Thanks for taking some time away from your busy time volunteering. My pleasure. So tell me, how long have you been volunteering with Project AIDS?
It's been over 10 years, and it just gets more and more rewarding, especially when you see people coming out supporting us like this.
What brought you to the organization?
You know what? I really don't recall. I don't remember how I came to be here, but I have been a dedicated volunteer ever since, because it is such a wonderful cause. Because all the money goes back into providing meals for homebound people.
Yeah, the kitchen is exquisite.
It really is.
Believe how wonderful.
I was in there the other day, my first time in the kitchen, because I just mostly do these kind of things, and they had me on the ceiling, the conveyor belt thing, and it was
Were you doing a little Lucy?
It was the Lucy. It was my first time. I was a newbie, and I was desperate for volunteers that particular day, so.
You're that desperate for volunteers. All your local agencies, wherever you are, I'm sure would love to have you volunteer.
They were very desperate, and they don't usually take first timers in the kitchen, but they were very desperate. So, but otherwise, I usually do something like this, which is also very rewarding, because this is what funds the kitchen.
And what did you know about HIV/AIDS before you came here, or through this?
It's not just HIV/AIDS. It's homebound people now. I think actually the statistics on breast cancer has risen, so it's expanding, and Project Angel Foods is going with that expansion to provide the meals.
Yeah. What other volunteer things have you done for the group?
They do a lot of these functions throughout the year. They do, and they also Divine Design, which is it actually takes a lot of time and set up and break down.
That's a big event. I've been to that one. Days and days of shopping.
Oh, shopping! The 90% on the last day.
Fantastic.
they lend the volunteers out to other. In fact, last week was wrapping cookies for the Avon. I think it was the Avon. So we lend ourselves to other. I guess they would call themselves. I know that they fund us, so we lend ourselves out for other events also.
Yeah. Well, as someone who's been living with HIV for 24 years, I want to thank you so much for your service.
I remember you.
I've been around.
But I do remember you. Have you been to this event before?
Yes.
I remember that. I haven't met you before.
Well, you look familiar to me, and I really want to thank you for your dedication and service.
Oh,
So much appreciated. Keep up the great work.
thank you very much.
All right.
Tell me, what's your name?
My name is Paul.
I'm Paul,
Hi.
Sherry Lewis.
Nice to meet you, Sherry. Frank Dolly. Nice to meet you.
Frank and Paul, you both have little touches. Tell me what you do as a volunteer. How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing this for around 6 months.
Okay.
Yes.
I've been doing this off and on actually for 10 years. I started off as a driver and now I've come back and I work in the kitchen. And then I've helped out this whole event for this week. It's been really exciting being here actually. Real grateful. Actually, it's amazing what goes on in the kitchen here.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here.
I can't wait. I mean, it's always delicious food.
It's always.
But it's made with love.
Absolutely.
That's what makes
Loving hands.
Loving hands and the
Caring
intention
hands.
and
Really,
good
lots of
feeling.
love. I say that when I leave here. I tell my friends, so much love with hands. It's true. It's pretty
And
awesome.
how about you?
I just started back in June. I'm basically doing kitchen work, and I'm also doing volunteer work for various events like this, Macy's Passport Show, and different things like that. Yeah.
And
So
what made you come to Project Asian Food for your volunteer work? What's your...
My brother passed away 19 years ago of HIV. So that originally interested me when they started getting all these programs for HIV. I felt like, wow, I wish this would have been around when my brother passed away in 1989. So that kind of was my first inspiration when I started driving and stuff, meeting the people and seeing the clients too, and being a driver. You really feel inspired to actually come and work and help because you see where it goes. So that's what originally inspired me.
That's great. And you? The Macy's Passport? I know I've gone to Macy's Passport for years.
well, basically for me, I mean, I used to live in San Francisco, and in San Francisco, way back in 1975, I can count at least 100 people that have passed that were my close friends. So, you know, for me right now, my whole life is all about living and helping people that are HIV positive to have a good quality life.
So what would you tell people who are listening or reading this blog and listening to this video about coming to volunteer and to do this, not just at Project Angel Food, but anywhere that there are these kind of organizations all over the country?
Well, for starters, you know, it's a wonderful way of thanking, you know, the fact that we're alive and healthy and well, and some of our friends are, and it's a great way to meet people and have fun and do something great for the community. And it's a great way to build up your karma points.
I like that. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
so
Sherry.
much.
Good
Keep
to
doing
meet you.
the good work.
God bless
Thank
you. Thank you for
too.
asking us.
Perfect.